everyone. Thank you for tuning in to our show. My name is Fernando Leon, and I am your host. I am joined by my co host, Gregory Morabiec. And today's discussion, well, we're going to share some slides on how a small IT firm improved client retention with the help of a white label help desk partner. Let's kick this show off and dive right into the table of contents. And right here, we're just going to quickly discuss the bullet points we're going to pull up here on the slides. We're going to do an introduction and background of the IT firm, the challenge they had, the solution they implemented, the implementation plan, results, conclusion, and then we'll talk a little bit about the white label partner. All right, let's go to the next slide. And well, let's talk about the IT firm, right? We keep all this information confidential, but we're willing to pass on their contact information if anybody would like to reach out to them. But they are a small IT firm based on the East Coast. They're primarily catering to small and mid-sized businesses, but they were encountering a typical hurdle, right? Sustaining high client retention rates was becoming a challenge, and understanding the pivotal role of outstanding customer support and retaining clients, the IT firm opted to utilize a white label help desk solution, right? Clients were unhappy. They were not getting support as they should, but that's neither here nor there. But operating for, they had been around for over a decade. Well, no, for almost a decade, right? The IT firm catered to clients spanning diverse industries, and although their IT support was dependable, maintaining long-term client satisfaction proved to be a challenge because they didn't have the bandwidth. They could deliver a proactive model, but when you have limited resources in-house, you just can't get to everybody. And yeah, their main hurdle was to deliver prompt and effective support because they just didn't have enough people. But this was occurring during peak periods, and it was becoming. They saw that it was not. They were not getting happy results. Let's just say that. Now, the challenge was their staff was not keeping up with the volume of calls, right? They were just getting too many requests. Plus, clients expected them to start resolving problems within a certain time, and that was not being met. And inconsistently, but the quality of support. I mean, this small firm had limited staff, which only covered various skills. So this affected the quality of support given to clients because, when you're primarily giving PC support and then you have a client that has Apples, and it's just, you don't have that skill set in-house, it's going to cause problems. And they developed a pattern of losing clients, and they saw the writing on the wall. This impacted the client's revenue and growth. So they were not they weren't happy when they were getting fired. Let's just say that. But the solution they came up with was, well, upper management researched the white label model as a way to meeting budget constraints and to fill customer support gaps. Now, the white label partner requirements they had to be flexible. They had to have customized integration. They had to scale with their demand, and they obviously had to be 24/7 support. So they had a long list of requirements, but I'm going to hand this next slide off to Gregory because his team they're the ones integrating the platform so clients can get support. So Greg, talk to us about the integration process. I know we offer a customized solution, but explain the two scenarios, because we have the ability to absorb their environment into ours and vice versa. Can you go into, just a 50,000 foot overview on how all that works from RMM, ticketing, branding, phone calls, email, SMS, online chat? I mean, we provide support, we give support through various platforms. So talk to us about about how you integrate this process.
Well, there's a there's a tech stack which is commonly known in our industry as like all the applications you deploy at your customer sites, like antivirus, anti-malware, endpoint detection. It could be even equipment like next generation firewalls. But we have something called RMM, remote monitoring and management. We have ticketing. We have answering, the live tech answering call for service. So we have all those things. Uh, can you leverage us to use all of that? Yes, you can, and not have to buy it all yourself. But if you've gone to the trouble of actually having an RMM tool, like Ninja, for instance, Ninja RMM, and you want us to use it, we will. So those are the two different types of scenarios where you bring your own stuff that you've signed up for and you've subscribed to. You don't want to lose that money, so we'll leverage that, and then or you could just use our stuff. We've had people actually use their stuff until their contract runs out with their vendor, and then they switch over to ours because then they don't have to pay for it full price, because we give them a discounted deal on it along with the services. So you can have two different options. Option one, you go with what you have, we leverage it, or option two, you just go all in with us and we give you all the tech stack tools.
So, Greg, I just did a 50,000 foot overview here of, we implement the RMM tool, the help desk ticketing system. But we provide a complete tech stack, right? Like we have backup, we have security, we have documentation, we have password management. I mean, there's a lot of options our clients have, because you built this so they can customize it to however they want. So when they have and so if there's the let's just say they have an RMM tool, can our tools easily integrate with theirs? Obviously, I'm sure obviously it can, because if it's a legitimate RMM tool, I'm sure we can integrate backup with it and have it all work seamlessly. Is that correct?
That's totally right. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, onboarding, just give us keep it at a 50,000 foot level. We don't need to dive into the fine details, but the goal is so both firms work efficiently. How painful is this onboarding system? I mean, how long does it take for, like, let's say a 20-person office that has you managing email, um, providing an RMM tool you got to deploy for 20 desktops, one server in the cloud, you got a firewall, you got to deploy, obviously, get the ticketing and all the branding. And one thing that we have is, because it is private label, when we do set up the ticketing system, it has the IT company's logo, so their clients aren't confused on who's giving them support. But how painful is it, and how do you keep it so it's not painful? If that's even possible.
Yeah. We don't make it painful. We've been doing this so many years that we can ease you in, transition you in very quickly, very simply to be successful. So yeah, it doesn't take a lot of effort to get you onboarded.
It's just having your documentation and all your ducks in a row. Is that right? Or
Yeah, sure.
got it, got it. I was reading a post on Facebook with this gentleman who was trying to onboard a client. And I know you've experienced this, but I wanted to get your feedback on how you would handle this, because the client, this client reached out to him and said, "Hey, you're hired. Come over and deploy these. Come over and take over my network." And he gets there, and it's a decent sized company. There's like 20 people there, but all the computers have home edition, right? Word on home edition. he the tech, he wanted to get RDS set up and other features, and the licenses just wasn't. They needed the pro license. So what did this guy do? He went to eBay and bought the licenses. What would you say to that client if he went to eBay and
Very
bought those?
cheap.
Would you continue working with him, or would you say, I'm going to step away because this is just not worth the headache?
No, you always want to work with your customers. You don't really want to drop them just because they make bad decisions. They don't know better. So you
Well,
just work with them as much as you can. Yeah.
I agree with you, but you and I have discussed this. We're here as experts. And when clients are making decisions that are not that are not in their best interest, don't you find that to be a bit counterproductive and a bit dangerous? I mean, dangerous is such a wild statement, but would you say it's just reckless to take on a network like that? Because you know what? Who's going to be blamed when everything goes wrong? When everything goes south, who do they blame?
They blame us.
That's right.
There's no question. No
Because
question in our minds that
it's
we get blamed.
like you're like, hey, I need you to take this medicine. Well, I'm going to take poison. Well, you're not going to feel better. Well, I don't care. I'm going to take this poison because I know better. Right.
Right.
And you're sitting there, you're the personal trainer, you're like, okay, Tom, you're not going to get in great shape because you're taking poison, right? You're not going to get any better. So what do you I don't understand how you can't step away from this type of scenario, because I consider these people to be reckless. They don't want to listen to you, and on top of that, they're reckless. I mean, when you tell them, no, you need to go to Microsoft and buy the pro license, and he says, no, I'm going to go to eBay. I mean, how do you even continue a conversation? The collaborate, they have no respect for you, is the way I look at it. It's like, I don't respect you. I don't trust you. I'm going to do what I feel is right. Don't you feel that's, or am I way off base?
No, you're right. People are difficult to deal with, especially know-it-alls and people who think they know best, or people whose friends tell them something or something like that. And then you're like, yeah, okay. If you want to do things your way, you're going to fail, or they may succeed. There may be a fluke, and they get lucky. People get lucky all the time, and they
Sure.
succeed. And it's like, wow, you just really dodged a bullet. But, I've seen people, working with the same equipment for decades.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I have no clue how it could all even work.
Yeah, no kidding, man. Well, let's talk about process refinement, because can you explain the standardization that goes on with, and again, summarize, please, that goes on with like response times, escalation procedures, workflow, implementing service level agreements. The bottom line is deliver high quality support. How does that all fit in together? Because clients expect you. We get messages saying, hey, you didn't meet the SLA. That comes up every once in a while, and it's usually when you onboard a new client, because you're still, the team is still learning the individual, and maybe the client I don't know. There just, things do sometimes at times fall between the cracks. But can you explain how you enforce that service level agreement so we don't miss them?
Well, you got to have, your ticket workflow, your ticketing system. You have to have good trained engineers. There's a lot that goes into that. I mean, it's not a simple, you know, answer. You just don't go, oh, I just try really hard. It's it's uh it's a difficult thing to keep an SLA going. Yeah, it's complicated.
Yeah, yeah, no, I bet. I know it's not an easy answer to just deliver, because I know you and I have had these discussions. There's a lot that goes into it, but you do implement and standardize as much as you can, so there's minimal problems. And when there are problems, you have escalation procedures, workflow, and you've got systems in place so we meet our service level agreements. Is that correct?
That is so right. You couldn't be more right. Having systems in place is
Yep.
this is critical.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, let's talk about results real quick. IT firms see this IT firm saw a huge improvement in customer satisfaction, right? And this isn't over a 6-month period. I mean, this was almost instant. I mean, like within 30 to 60 days, clients they weren't complaining. Before, they were complaining. So when there's no complaints, you can only assume that they are happy. Now, automation plays a big part on how efficient we work. Can you explain what your team implements to ensure patching and updates is automated, and if you use any type of AI or scripting? I know scripting plays a big part in how you keep things so they're low maintenance. And again, summarize, please, because we only have so much time here on this show.
Yeah, we use, patching and patch management and that kind of thing through our RMM tools to keep that stuff up to date and fresh and right. So absolutely, we use those tools in order to be, there's no AI involved in patching because patching isn't super complicated, but there is definitely processes and like you said, scripts and scripting and stuff like that.
Well, I remember we're going to implement an AI bot on our homepage. So if somebody wanted like a password reset, they could easily do it. But have you taken a different direction to do those easy fixes, password resets?
Yeah, you can definitely have scripting and AI reset passwords. It didn't really take off very well because people aren't super into uh, self-service. You really
Yeah,
want to give the best possible service you can to your customers. So to
yeah,
do that, you have to you have to give them the service.
yeah, yeah. No kidding. They want to speak to humans.
Yes.
This whole AI thing is people are nervous about losing their jobs. Yeah, not in the support industry, not the sales industry, but AI can't replace those human interaction type of positions. Now, centralized knowledge base plays a big part in quality of support, and standardizing support process plays a big part in improving customer service. Um, would you say, well, give us a high level of how all of that is tied with the help desk team, right? You got your documentation and you have standardized support processes. What's the how's that all working with the help desk team?
Yeah, you have to integrate all of your resources and your systems and your tech stack and all of your different components. You have to make sure that those are all talking to one another, working with one another. And if you want to, integrate your scripting and your automation. I mean, automation is key to the managed services department. Managed services a company. We have to either automate or die.
Yep.
So
Yep. Yep. No, no.
absolutely.
Now we all know client retention is critical to all service firms, right? No one likes losing clients, especially to the competition. But all of this is attributed to the skill team resolving problems faster, having a reliable staff who meet SLAs. What other areas do you see contributing to client satisfaction, if there is any?
Communication, you have to have the right people communicating the right things. Just how they're talking, their accents, their the way that they say things, the way that they present solutions to the customer, those are all super critical, more critical than just having technical knowledge. It's having the skills to just to talk how to talk to people. Very
Yeah.
difficult.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. And as we look at the 5 stages of a ticket life cycle, that plays a big part in, ensuring clients are happy, right? As a new ticket comes in, they open it and it goes into triage, but we always make sure that box is checked off with a resolved ticket, and then they close that ticket. But when it's not closed, do they? Does somebody get alerted if that ticket has been open too long, it doesn't get closed, or is anybody looking at open tickets that have been open too long? Somebody get an alert or some type of notification?
Absolutely. These types of things can't go unchecked, untouched for a long period of time, or else you're going to get ruined. You know that the age of the ticket is super tied to your success,
Got it.
without question.
Interesting. Yeah,
You
and
have to pay attention to these things.
yep, yep. And what our IT partner, well, our IT client discovered was they can scale, right? What on demand, and it's not going to cost them an arm and a leg. You pay for what you use. You can scale up or down, and it's a flexible platform for our IT partners. So the flexibility comes in. Hey, we'll use your tools, or you can use our tools. We provide also, they discovered on-site support in other parts of the US. So it's a great model for small IT firms that are regional and are looking to deliver, a 24/7 model, and deliver a remote model for their clients and other, so they're getting, instant support. So but the scalability and flexibility is paramount to these IT firms clients. Now, the conclusion, well, they have happy clients, right? They're not angry anymore. They're not losing them anymore. And once they've implemented a white label help desk, it's they were able to grow their business, offer additional services, such as, I know we're talking about a white label help desk, but they were able to implement our other platform, which is the white label SOC. So they were able to not only grow, but go into other industries that they weren't able to deliver specific expertise, such as HIPAA compliance or SOC 2 compliance in the fintech industry, because now they had the backing of a white label partner that can deliver various skill sets for various industries. So yeah, their business is growing because they're not leaving money on the table. It's now like when you have a white label help desk partner, or you're an IT break fix organization, or you're looking to implement a SOC, you don't have to leave money on the table. And if you're a break fix firm, you don't have to get so educated and buying all this infrastructure to deliver an MSP model. When you partner with a white label partner, you can easily transition from a break fix model to the MSP model without any investment. And you're already technically savvy. You just have to find that right partner who can work with you on delivering a managed service model. What is the other thing that went up besides happiness or client satisfaction? Were profits, right? They weren't losing any more clients, so profits increased. Their client base increased. So that was a win-win for everybody around. So let's just quickly talk about, the white label partner, single point of contact, how we deliver 3 business models or 3 platforms. Is the white label help desk, white label security operations center, and for the break fix firms that want to transition to the MSP model, we do all 3. There are 2 more that we don't talk about much, but the one-offs, right? You got clients that want to migrate to the cloud, or have boots on the ground in specific areas. So we have a robust stock of skill sets internally,
because we're built to scale with our clients' demand, and we have a deep bench and skilled individuals who can deliver all three models. And Gregory is leading the pack, and he's been doing this. Well, we've been doing this for over 2 decades now, so we're doing something right. But that's what I have to say about single point of contact. So, Greg, was there anything else you wanted to add?
No, that's great. You covered all the bases.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I just want to say thanks to everybody for listening, and contact us at sales@singlepointoc.com if you have any questions regarding scaling, selling, marketing. We're here to help you out in every way. All right. Thanks again for tuning in. Have a good night.
Thanks.